Oftentimes, when we're looking at data, it really helps if we can sort it and display it in ways that have meaning for us. For example, maybe sort things based on size or control which elements of that data we see when we're looking at it. And in a SharePoint environment, we can control the columns and the layout and the sorting and the filtering based on something called a view. From our Windows 10 computer in our hands-on lab environment, let's go ahead and launch Chrome and connect over to the SharePoint server at srv1.nuglab.com. We'll authenticate as the user administrator with the password of NUGGET !23 and press enter. And since we have some content in our document library in the engineering site, let's use the quick launch over on the left. We'll click on the engineering subsite, and then from the quick launch for that site, we'll go ahead and click on the engineering document library. Now in this document library, we can see in this view that we're currently in these three documents. We have a column for name, we have a column for modified, we have a column for modified by. And the reason that we're viewing these files in this fashion is because of this view right here called all documents. It's a default view that's applied to document libraries. So the question may come up, well, what if, Keith, we wanted to add additional information in additional columns? Or what if we wanted to modify or remove some of these columns? How do we do that? And that's a great question. And the way we would do it, or one way of doing it, would be to go ahead and use this ellipsis right here. That would give us an option to modify this view or create a new view and apply it. So to show us that, we can go ahead and click on the ellipsis right there. And then from the drop down, we have modify this view, which is the all documents view, or create a new view, which we could then go ahead and use. Another way would be, when looking at this document library, up in the top on the left under the tab, select library. So now we have the library tab and the library ribbon comes up. And the ribbon is showing us that the current view is the all documents view. So if we wanted to modify this existing view, we can simply click on this link right here. So for our demonstration, let's go ahead and click on the ellipsis next to the all documents view. And let's create a brand new view. So we'll click on create view from the drop down. And now it's asking us for the type of view that we want to create. We have a standard view, calendar view, datasheet view, a Gantt view. If we have SharePoint Designer set up, we can do a custom view with that. It's also giving us the option of creating a new view, but not having to do it from scratch. We can use an existing view, the All Documents view, and use that as a starting point. So that way, the current settings that are in the All Documents view, we can have for the beginning point, or the starting point, for a new view that we can create. And let's do that. We'll click on the All Documents view to start that. And then we'd simply give it a new name. Let's call this our new view. Then it's asking if we want to make this our default view. I'm not going to select that. I want the option to use this view, but I don't want it to be the default. And then for the view audience, we can control who is able to use this view. So by default, the radio button for create a public view is set, meaning that anyone can use this view. Or if we wanted to create a view that only we could use, we could go ahead and click this radio button and create a personal view. So in our demonstration here, we'll go ahead and create a public view, and let's scroll down just a little bit. This next section is all about the columns that we want to show up in our view that we're creating. So all of these options are currently selected because it's pulling those from the default view that we already have in place. So if we wanted to add some additional columns, we could go ahead and choose some. For example, we could choose the checked out to column and the file size column. And if we scroll down a little bit more, we can also have the version column. So if we want to see the version information in our view, we simply enable that column. And the list goes on. If we scroll down just a little bit further, we can specify how the data is going to be sorted based on this view being used. We can also specify filtering options that controls what we'll see in this specific view. And if we scroll down further, we have additional controls that we can set regarding this view. So besides the current columns that we just added a few moments ago, I'm going to leave everything else the way it is and simply click on OK to create this brand new view. So we'll click on OK and voila, check it out. Here's the All Documents view. It's still there. We can still use it simply by clicking on it. And here's our new view that we just created. And notice what we can see. We have this new column called Checked Out To. We have a new column for file size, and we have a new column for version. And if we wanted to go back to the other view, we can simply click on All Documents, and that goes back to the All Documents view, which doesn't have those additional columns. And because they're not private views, they're both public views, Anyone who has access to this document library can choose to use either one of these views, based on which view they want to use, to see the contents of this engineering document library. And now that we've done this in the Nugget, it is your turn. Please take a moment or two in the hands-on lab environment by using the link from a computer over on the right to launch this lab and practice creating and using a new view on this document library. So thanks for your participation. I'm glad you joined me for this Nugget. I hope this has been informative for you, and I'd like to thank you for viewing.